What's up, viewers, subscribers, and agents alike? It's your boy Light Luciferian Praise coming at you once again. Merry Sabbath for those who observe, and for those who don't, hey, here's what it is. Cool. If you're watching this video around children, please remove them from your immediate vicinity because my videos are not for children. This is for adults and adults only. Tell children, skedaddle to Seattle. Okay? This does not constitute legal advice. The sole purpose of this information is for informational and educational purposes only. Simple as that. So, let's cook. The title of this video is UCC 3414, Obligation of Drawer. The reason why I want to place strict emphasis on this is because I think that people, when they endorse contracts, they need to understand this. The UCC is the underlying law of all contracts. If you know how to endorse your contracts, you don't owe nobody anything. But let's read. This section does not apply to cashier's checks or other drafts drawn on the drawer. If an unaccepted draft is dishonored, the drawer is obliged to pay the draft. Hence, i.e., if you endorse a traffic citation, a rental obligation, a mortgage, you're not obligated to pay nobody shit. According to its terms, at the time it was issued, it's not issued at the time it came into possession of a holder. So that means that once it was issued to you, you endorse it under UCC 3-414. I'm 36 years young. I've never paid nothing in my life because I know how to endorse things. Paying is not what you think it is. You didn't pay anything. You settled. You didn't pay anything. Let's get that straight. If the drawer signed an incomplete instrument, look it up. What an incomplete instrument is. That's just when you just sign something, it's incomplete. There's no settle. There's nothing settled. According to its terms, when completed to the extent stated in sections 3115 and 3404, the obligation is owed to a person entitled to enforce. In other words, if you don't endorse it, you don't close it, you owe. If a draft is accepted by a bank, the drawer is discharged, regardless of when and whom the acceptance was obtained. Subsection C. If a draft is accepted by the acceptor, it's not a bank. The obligation of the drawer to pay the draft if the draft is dishonored by the acceptor is the same as the obligation of an endorser under section 3-415. A and C. If a draft states that it's drawn without recourse or otherwise disclaims liability of the drawer to pay the draft, the drawer is not liable under subsection B to pay the draft. The draft is not a check. A disclaimer of the liability stated in subsection B is not effective if the draft is a check. Let's close this out. If a check is not presented for payment or given to the depository bank for collection within 30 days after its date, the drawee suspends payments after expiration of the 30-day period without paying the check, and because of suspension payments, the drawer is deprived of the funds maintained with the drawee to cover the payment of the check. The drawer, to the extent deprived of funds, may discharge its obligation to pay the check by assigning to the person entitled to enforce the check's rights of the drawer against the drawee with respect to funds. Now, you learned that in less than 6 minutes. Let's cook further. If you leave any contract that you have that's an obligation, which everything we all sign in some form or fashion is an obligation. If you leave it open-ended, you owe. But if you endorse it, UCC 3-414, you don't owe nobody a goddamn thing. You don't owe anybody anything. If you have a mortgage, if you know this now for the future, and you default, they can't even take you to court and make you pay anything. You sign a rental contract. If you default, they can't take you to court. They can't. Because it says obligation of drawer. So for all you people that's out there in the YouTube universe, when you renew your rental or your mortgage obligations, sign on the dotted line. You're welcome. And that's in less than 8 minutes. Because if you default, there's no such thing as eviction. They can't. It's on them, not you. If they try to take you to court, just tell them, look at the original signature of the contract. And that's why I say, I don't owe a bitch nothing. Fuck them people. Because it's all about endorsing your contract. Because at the end of the day, it's all I'm going to say. You signed, he signed, she signed. It's all about how you endorse it. But like I said, this does not constitute legal advice. This is to show you how to tell these people to kiss your ass. Feel what I'm saying? Learn how to sign them contracts. And get the people out your business. Becomes so much easier. And if a person tells you, we're going to say person, tells you, don't sign it like that, don't sign it at all. Because their job is to defraud you. It's to take something away from you. Then don't sign it at all. Take their advice. But like I said, it's not constitute legal advice. But it keeps you out of liability. It keeps you out of liability. I'll tell you that much. Keeping yourself out of liability is all about what redemption is. That's the explanatory purpose on what redemption is. Keeping yourself out of liability. You're not obligated to nothing, but you're obligated to everything. Does that make sense? I'll cook a little bit further. You're not obligated to anything, but you're obligated to everything. Because irrespective of man's law, there's still a universal law. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. Self-explanatory. But being obligated to everything doesn't mean you owe anyone or anything anything. I know it sounds like a little bit of a conundrum there, but you don't owe anybody anything, and no one owes you anything. Owe is a word that is misused because, as adjectively as it's used, you don't owe nobody shit. But when it comes to contracts, you owe somebody something now. But I'm showing you how to not pay nobody no attention. You're welcome. And I hope this aids you in your journey. And I hope this aids you in your walk and your path for whoever is watching this, for the betterment of the truth. Never leave an open-ended signature on anything. You'll thank me later. I tell people, I give no legal theory. I give no personal perspective. I just read. I just read. Reading is fundamental. You got to fund the mental. If you read, you don't have to ask nobody anything. You already know what to do. And then you act accordingly. I said it in the previous video. Act accordingly. That's your job. But if you don't fund the mental, then really, where's your mental? Gotta read. Once you read, you know. When you know, you grow. When you grow, guess what? Your life will go. It's the truth. Simple as that. Three simple steps will help you improve your life. I ain't no life coach. I'm just me. I'm just myself. But I read. And you need to read too. Other than that, enjoy your Sabbath. Because I definitely will enjoy mine. Peace, light, love. I'll see y'all soon. Ages, man, fuck you. I'm out. Y'all take care.